G'day guys, this week is race simulation week, which means I'm testing out my gear for the Tarawera race, as well as doing a long effort over a distance of 64-65 k's. So we started the week with a bit of a staycation, so relaxing and taking it easy. We ran in the city for an easy 10k run and stayed in a hotel there. No kids, just relaxing, getting ready for a big run on Wednesday. Now Wednesday is the 4th of January and it was the original date of the Sea to Summit race. It's a discontinued race from Sea to Mount Lofty Summit, and we've been doing recce runs over the course. Pretty quiet above the city of Adelaide this morning. About to start the Summit to Sea to Summit run. Okay, so as per a lot of my long runs that I do, I'm checking in every hour. Hang on, it doesn't seem to be doing... Yes, it wasn't doing torch at the same time as camera, so that's something I've just found out with the phone. Can't do those two things at once. So yes, 1 hour in, just gone through the Echo Tunnel in Belair. So the run started Mount Lofty, we ran through Cleland, through to Crafers, and then into the back of Belair. So about 11 k's in the first hour. 2 hours check-in, just got through 22k. Now I had a toilet stop at Apex Park, so 15 k's in Hawthorne Dean, and then the trail goes up to Blackwood and through Sturt Gorge. So I've just done the Sturt Gorge section, and now I'm about to go around the back of Flinders Uni before going under South Road to the beach. So bit over 10k to go. Feeling okay, feeling pretty good. It is only 2 hours in, still got quite a few hours to go, but it's a nice day, nice and cool for summer. Still sweating quite a bit, but it's a nice day. Okay, so coming up to 3 hours, I've done the I've done the turnaround, and to see here, there's the gate that used to be able to go through for the Sea to Summit, but now quite a few of the original tracks have been taken back for revegetation or just closed, like that one. So it is hard to follow the original Sea to Summit route, and you just make do with alterations. 3 hours in now, starting to feel like I'm running. You know, it's starting to really get into that zone where I feel like I've definitely been running for a while, and it's starting to get a bit more difficult. Happy to have got through halfway. My goal was to go 6 hours for the whole thing. I don't think I'll get that, but still plenty of running to go, and I might be able to hold it together and run okay to see how well I can hold it together. Okay, 4 hour check-in, and going through Bacchus Gorge here is always tough. But yes, having done 43 k's by now, it's going to be a very difficult section. Just a few k's though, and then pop out at Blackwood. Pace has not been too bad. I've been pushing it a little bit, but with 21k to go, it's probably okay to be pushing a bit. So yes, rarely, this is real ultra territory, obviously just over the marathon distance. Definitely get to run, enjoy the day. Now, apart from me running the summit to sea and back run, Nat ran the sea to summit, so she ran that with Becky, Peter and Mandy. So I'd volunteered to give them a lift back to the sea from the summit. So they started an hour after I did, and we're aiming for a 4.5 to 5 hour finish, which meant that if I did much longer than 6 hours, they would be waiting for me, so I'd be holding them up. So I was hoping that I wouldn't blow out too much. One benefit of Nat doing the run was that she was able to stash an aid station for me at the turnaround. So I had a refill of a bottle with electrolyte and 2 more gels at their turnaround. So that meant that I was running with, I started with 2 gels and a full bottle, which I refilled at Apex Park about 15 k's in. Then 18 k's later, get a new bottle with electrolyte, which I would again refill at Apex Park with spacing the 4 gels out between the runs, so every hour and a quarter. I think I just was a bit underfueled and a bit underhydrated as well, because the way back, the uphill 18 k's took a bit longer than I thought, I just went through a bit more fluid than I thought. Okay, so that's just over 2 minutes that I've had to wait for a train. I'm having a bit of a rough time anyway, so I'm not going to be getting a 6 hour finish, but that sealed it. I'm losing a couple of minutes there. I'll see how I go, but yeah, it is a struggle at the moment. Okay, so coming up to 5 hours. As you can see, I have not gone through the Echo Tunnel, so a fair bit more than an hour to go, because it took me an hour to get to the Echo Tunnel going down the hill, and it's going to be very steep after the tunnel all the way to the top. So yeah, it's a tough day, but I think I'm fairly happy with how it's gone so far. I paced myself reasonably well. I'm struggling a bit obviously towards the end here where it gets steep. That was to be expected. I did run out of water a couple of k's before the train, and then I had to wait till a couple of k's after that before I could fill up again, so that has made it a bit harder, having nothing to drink for a while. But yeah, going okay considering, and it's going to be a longish day, but I only missed my target by probably 20 minutes. We'll see how we go, but I think I can still salvage a reasonable finish for the last 12k. Okay, 6 hour check-in. It's we're made it to Crowfers in 6 hours, so a fair way off from Lofty. Still good half an hour, 40 minutes. I I've been getting really sore hip flexor, which has made it quite difficult. So whenever I walk, it really gets tightened up, and then, which is a bit strange because it should get tightened up when I'm hunched over, but yeah, quite a impinged hip flexor, sore hip flexor, and yeah, nauseous as well. So yeah, suffering. But yeah, it's only just been sort of a steady decline. I think it just shows that there's just reflects the fitness rather than the execution of the day. I think I paced it fairly well, and yeah, just got quite tough towards the end here. Again, I'm out of water, out of calories, so I'm doing the last 4.5 5k with just running on fumes. But yeah, no, we'll get there, and yeah, feel quite good to have accomplished this big run, assuming that I still can fight through these few k's from Crayford to Mount Lofty. There you go. Yeah, good work. So there we have it. Nat reached her goal of finishing between 4.5 and 5 hours, and I reached my goal of doing a solid run. I did pick the going down first and then going back up rather than the up and then down, because I wanted to pace myself. I didn't want to go really hurt and then do like a 30k cool down, which would have been the other option. I wanted to do it as a pacing exercise to make sure that I had enough legs to get through the run. Seems like I was a little bit underdone in my fitness and also in my nutrition. We'll need to carry a little bit more. I think just carrying a few more lollies or some other proper food would have helped, rather than just relying mostly on gels. And I did have some lollies and olives, but they sort of ran out along the way there. So that makes Nat's big long run 2/3 of the 50k, and my long run 2/3 of the 100k. So that was 5.5 weeks before race day. Finished off the week with some easy running. My foot did flare up a bit in the last few k's of the run, and it's still sore and will be recovering for a while, but I am able to run on it. It just would be good to be on the improve, so obviously set it back a little bit by doing that session, but it hasn't completely set me backwards a long way. So yeah, I guess get the training in. We will get to race day. We will get some training to get some fitness. Thanks very much for watching, and hope you've got something out of this and enjoyed the vlog so far. And I'll just say a couple extra words about the FKT, or fastest known time for the Sea to Summit to Sea, or the Summit to Sea to Summit course. There is an unsupported category where you're doing your own support for doing the event. Dan Kamak, one of the people that I sponsored during his own Hyson FKT, has done this Sea to Summit to Sea run, and his FKT wasn't accepted because he did it as a group of 3 and the third runner didn't finish, so that was taken to be assistance. I think with mine there'd be a similar story, with Nat providing assistance by stashing the soft flask and gels at the beach. Nat and I both think we've got faster times than us over that course. My Crayford to Mount Lofty was actually 1 minute and 40 seconds slower than Nat's group, so yeah, there's definitely some time left that I can improve on. And if I do go back and do that again, then yes, I will lodge an FKT.